that one off to Cody Sylvester, or Jack O'Brien, excuse me. There was a nice little backhand on net. I like the shot mentality early from the Gladiators. You got to put pucks on net early against this Jacksonville team.
That first line will remain on. For the Icemen, they do make a change. They'll send on their second line of Sasha Telgren, Will Hillman, and Craig Martin for the faceoff to the right of Semptimfelter. Gladiators win the draw, back with possession again. Conroy up the ice to O'Brien. He will look to break out. Softly to Walter. He'll meander his way to center circle and get scrubbed off the puck by Martin. Icemen pitch it in on the right side. Gladiators try and lob it up the ice, but hemming them in for now is Bucco. Working along the, make that Hillman, beg your pardon. Hillman will go around the net on his backhand, try and sauce it to the left wing, and will. At the point, stutter step move. Puck is put in deep by Trevor Grabel. Mentioned these new look Jacksonville Icemen. At first it was a joke, but it is true. Icemen seem to have at least 3 or 4 new guys in the lineup every time these two teams meet. As Denemy gets stuffed right in the slot. Puck moves to the near wall. Alex Young probing and digging for it. Pokes it off the boards where it's handled by Condata for Jacksonville. And wait behind the net for a moment. Sees Denemy pressuring. Forced to roll out left and sling it to his right for Griffin at the attacking line. Leaves it for Friedman moving up ice. Push it deeper. Friedman pass to the slot. Broken up by Burns. He'll take it and chip it off the near wall where it's handled by Ryan Francis. Tries to push it back for his teammate Gaudette. Skates got tangled up a bit. Jacksonville has possession for a long shot that gets blocked between the circles. Francis takes it up ice, drifting down the left wing. Powers to the corner as Holden Whale draped over him defensively. Puck squeaks over to the far wall for a shot that's turned away by Rowe. Puck available on the near side. Gaudette will stash it deeper. Francis checked off the puck by Whale in the trapezoid. Cipollone keeps it for Atlanta. Does end up turning it over on the far wall as Jacksonville looks to roll out. At the red line, Gladiators take the puck away. Cipollone feeds left wing for Francis. At the half wall, spears it to the trapezoid. Cipollone to Francis, tries to sneak it in short side, but Cameron Rowe not going to be fooled there. Melts it down, and clock stops. 17:24 left in the first.
Nice little give and go there by Joey Cipollone, and Ryan Francis gives it to Francis on the outside. He goes back to Cipollone behind the net, who feeds one to Francis in the slot. Wasn't able to get as much of that as he would have liked, but still a pretty decent chance there for the Gladiators on Rowe early.
Face off on the near circle. We get our first look at Joe Mack in his first game with the Gladiators. Out to take the face off with Ethan Scardina to his left, Riley Appelt to his right. Mack this season with the Athens Rock Lobsters, 21 goals, 29 assists, 50 points in 42 games. Wins the draw, sets up a shot. Rowe turns it away. Good bid from Les from the right point, but it would not go. Icemen try and power up ice. Gladiators box him out the line and force an offside. 11 seconds under, 3 minutes gone by in the first. And for the Gladiators, Max Gronding got called up to the Syracuse Crunch earlier in the week, signed a professional tryout agreement with Syracuse. Impressed a lot of people. 1 goal, 2 assists. Scored his first pro goal on Sunday in 3 games with the Gladiators. Syracuse liked what they saw, offered him a PTO, and so he is up in Syracuse, and we wish him all the best. And as a result of that, Joe Mack gets the call up to Atlanta. Still out there on the ice right now. Gladiators move it in deep. Puck bounces to the left of Rowe. Comes out to play it, waxed off the end wall over to the near side. Icemen have it. Jordan across to Pietola. Icemen look to weave their way up the ice with a series of crisp passes. Jordan from the right point takes a shot off a leg. Behind the net with the rebound is Patosha. Tries to knock it up to the left point and does. Cross ice feed, escapes the zone. And so Jordan forces his backhand it in. Icemen will get a change in. 3.5 minutes gone by in the first period of this one. Still no score. Sylvester up the ice to O'Brien. Pounds it to the trapezoid. Played by Rowe. Out to neutral ice. Reeling it in is Evan Orr. And Evan Orr will dance towards his left. Up the ice he goes. Tries to sling a pass to Sylvester. Broken up off the stick of Cockrell. Orr gives him a shove as the puck drifts between the circles. Grabbed and rolled towards Semptimfelter. Puts a hand on it. 1 second shy of 4 minutes gone by.
Yeah, nice back check there by Isaac Walter on that one. Ended up coming up, bouncing high up in the air there Iceman crashing the net there, but a good back check by Isaac Walter to break that up.
And Evan Orr, one of those guys that seems like the Gladiators are really high on. We talked about those youngsters entering the lineup over the last couple of weeks. Evan Orr is one of them. First-year pro out of Stonehill College. Takes it off the face-off victory, finds Sylvester up the ice. Bouncing at center circle. Icemen take it into the Gladiator zone. Behind the net, puck is chopped off the stick of Bucco by Chad Nychuk. Gladiators roll it out to the neutral zone. Sylvester takes it on the fly. Walter took a crunch to make that play happen. Sylvester disposes of the puck and heads off to complete a line change. Second line comes on, looking a little bit different here tonight. Alex Young, the center, with Mike McNamee to his left and Carson Denemy to his right. As Jacksonville gets stuffed on his own entry again, McNamee with 3 assists on Sunday for a career game in the ECHL, plugs the puck up the ice. Finds Young over the attacking line. Nothing happening there. Good defensive shutdown by the Icemen. And in a hurry-up ice, end up getting called for offside. 4:50 into period 1. Looks like the second line will remain out there. Alex Young with a career season. Second-year pro out of Arizona State, now up to 53 points on the season. Had a goal and 2 assists on Sunday for his 5th 3-point game of the year. Wins the face-off. Gladiators try and charge up. Ice McNamee down the middle as the puck roll into the glove of Rowe, and he will freeze the game 5 minutes into it. Shot count to this point. Gladiators 3, Icemen nothing. Feels like to start this game, possession has been very much in the Gladiators' favor. Done a good job of winning face-offs. See if they can win another one here. Young gets the job done, sets the shot by Denemy that floats over the goal. Now behind the net is Lord Anthony Grissom. Icemen weave their way out to the neutral zone. Gladiators get a touch on the puck, and handling it now is McNamee. Swoops up to the neutral zone, finds Young on the fly, gains the attacking line and pushes it into the near corner. And will get off for a line change. Active stick by Mickey Burns, breaks up a feed in the neutral zone. Iceman will backpedal a bit. Francis applies some pressure on the forecheck. Jacksonville gains the red line and fires the puck in. Around the horn to the far wall. Burles will move it backward to Conroy. Rushes the puck to the left wing for Burns. Couldn't quite haul it in. Lincoln Griffin tries to weave his way deeper. Gladiators make the defensive stand and chuck the puck back out to neutral ice. First period's not much of a scoring period for the Gladiators this season. Sunday's first period was scoreless. Iceman gain the attacking line. Feed to the near wing is intercepted by Burns. Springs Cipollone up the ice, drops off for Francis, takes a shot from the high slot. That's stopped by Rowe. Now at the left point, it's Conroy, across to Nychuk, turns towards the net and fires, blocked in front. Rebound is handled by Rowe, as waiting in front of the net was Joey Cipollone, trying to stuff that one in. Clock stops with 13:40 off the save from Rowe. Gladiators off to a good start, out shooting the Icemen 4-0. Still looking for the first goal of the game.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear, we made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down, we go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary risky. Make it infamous. Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee Ward, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Face off to the left of Rowe to resume the action. Puck goes out of play. 13:33 left in the first. See another face-off on the far circle. Patosha will take it against Mack. And this time, Patosha is the victor. Moves it back to Kundata. Rainbows it over the neutral zone. Hits the body of Gaudet. Scooped it by Patosha for a shot. Stopped by Septemfelter. And that's the first shot of the game for the Icemen and save for Septemfelter. Riley Appelt with it on the far wall. Chucks it up ice to Scardina. Puck glances off his stick. Tries to get it back. Ends up pinballing to Septemfelter, who backhands it to the far wall. Scardina caught in a bind. Tries to jam it out of the zone and does. Handled by the Iceman at center circle. Kondata's feet up the ice. Hits a stick and goes to Gaudet. He'll wire it into the far corner, where it's handled by Cockrell. As a man moving up ice, that is McMaster. Tries to split the D and shoots. Kick saved by Septemfelter. Deny him the first goal of the game. Gladiators escape to center. Walter drags it down the right wing, pulls up at the point. It's bottled up, puck is taken away. Stretch pass off a skate intended for Cockrell. No icing as Nychuk hunts it down. Now Walter on the far wall. Chips it up the ice for O'Brien. Tries to bat it further. Iceman get in front of it. Broken stick for a Jacksonville defenseman. Gladiators try and take advantage. Or from the right circle, pulls up, goes across to Nychuk. He'll handle and shoot off the skate of Sylvester and wide. I believe it was Patrick Bykov. No, it was Cockrell that broke his stick. Gladiators unable to capitalize on that opportunity. He heads off to the bench. Meanwhile, in deep, Holden Whale tries to escape this Gladiators forecheck. Puck available on the far wall. Iceman keeping a hand on it. Martin looking up the ice, drifting down the middle. Tries to slot it up the ice over the attacking line. Nothing happening there. Denemy along the left wing. Has to peel back thanks to a delayed offside. Pietila moves it to the right wing. Moving up the ice is Telguin. Gladiators smack the puck off his stick. Take it to neutral ice. McNamee with Young moving down the left wing. McNamee cuts inside and fires. Soft shot rolls into the grasp of Rowe. Clock stops with 11:12 left in the first.
Yeah, Gladiators able to generate a good offensive opportunity off of the broken stick there for the Iceman defender Cockrell. Able to get a good look off there. Shot from the point from Nychuk. I thought the Gladiators did a good job of getting bodies to the net early in this one, trying to get in the way of Rowe, making sure he can't see that puck coming through from the point shots. Would like to see the Gladiators keep going to the net. They're going to get their opportunities.
Face off on the near circle. Second line remains on the ice for Atlanta. Alex Young will take this face off up against TJ Friedman. Young does win it, sets up a shot by Conroy. Blocked off a leg in front of Rowe, available in the near corner. Young with it, turns it over to Pietila. Exit attempt held in by Les. Throws it across to McNamee, who shoots. That goes into the near corner. Chucked out to center by David Jankowski, brother of Mark Jankowski. Currently plays for the Carolina Hurricanes. Gladiators out to neutral ice again. Danemy trying to get something going off the zone entry, but the Icemen shake him down and take it away. Puck plugged down to Septemfelter from the trapezoid. Heaves it to his left. Conroy off the wall, feeling some pressure. Gets some help with reinforcements in the area. Young and Gaudet also in the vicinity. Icemen keep a hand on the puck at the line. Pushing off the near wall. Pass intended for Jankowski, broken up by Young and sent to the far wall. Pinching is Kundata. Gladiators move it by him. Shot from the left point goes wide of Septemfelter from Patosha, who was fresh off the bench. Now Atlanta will dump the puck down to Rowe and complete a change of its own. On the ice now is the third line with Cipolone, Francis, and Burns. Working his way in deep for Jacksonville is Tyler Kopp. Was assigned by Buffalo from Rochester to Jacksonville earlier in the day. This is his Iceman debut. Francis up the ice, looks to connect with Cipolone. Cipolone tries to bulldoze his way into Jacksonville territory. Iceman wheel the puck around the horn to the far wall, and it will exit out to center. Francis, as the puck roll off the stick at the red line, is able to get it back. Rolls it across to Jarvis, who throws it off the stick of Burns and in. Rowe from the trapezoid scans his options, feathers it to his right. On time for Holden Will, the former member of the Indy Fuel. It's acquired in a trade earlier in the year. His pass up the ice makes its way to the intended target, taken away by Atlanta. Scardina hustles towards the net, tried to power into the blue paint, gets spun off at the last moment. Now at center circle, pass up the ice, McMaster to the left wing for a shot over the goal from Cockrell. Pietola regroups and reloads at the red line. Hard arounds in the near boards for McMaster. Deeper to Cockrell, centers, pass across the left circle for a shot, stopped by Semptimfelter. Pietola with the bid, Semptimfelter with the save. Gladiators will clear with 8:36 left in the first. It is Bucco over the attacking line for Jacksonville, spearing it to the end wall. Taking a hard check a couple feet away from the boards was Les. Not happy about it, looking for a call, but there is none. Now Condata from the line, fires wide, rebound pushed to the blue paint, and swept away. Appelt tries to clear the zone, held in by Martin. Centers for a trailer, dancing for a shot. It is Trevor Grabel. Glove saves Semptimfelter, stopping us with 8:10 to go in the first. Scoreless affair in Duluth. Gladiators leading the shot count by 5, 7-2. More action when we come back.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Still no score here in Duluth. Guy Carenza alongside Andrew Fleming. We'll also be joined by Shelby Rabideau as well. Gladiators looking to get the first goal in this one. So good when scoring first this year is Atlanta. 26-4-1-1 when they do so. Actually trailed first on Sunday against the Stingrays and still found a way to win. And despite how well they've played when scoring first, still a very modest record, 11-13-1 when trailing first. O'Brien over the attacking line, flings it to the right wing, off the wall, and able to be grabbed by Sylvester. Charging down the right wing is Craig Martin, pulls up and saucers it deeper. Puck spun off the stick of Hillman. Walter takes it up ice, drops it off to O'Brien. Toe drag, shot, glove save by Rowe. Hangs on with 7:43 to play in period one.
Very well executed 3-on-2 there by that first line. Walter dishes it outside to O'Brien, and then Walter, the big body that he is, he drives to the net trying to drag that defenseman with him, opens up that middle ice for O'Brien, who's able to get to the middle, drag, pull, snapshot, trying to go high glove, but a very nice save by Rowe there with the glove.
Good shift for the first line. They head off. On comes the second. Nychuk and Orr, the two defensemen. Young will take this face-off against TJ Friedman and win it. Nychuk drives down the left wing and centers off a stick. Denemy all alone in the slot. Was ready for the shot, but unable to get it off. He has it behind the net. On his backhand, centers for Young. Fights for a shot, and leaning into the near post to keep it out was Rowe. Absorbs the shot with 7:27 to play in period one.
Yeah, really good work by the Gladiators below the dots there. Working the cycle game a little bit. Denemy ends up with it behind the net, makes a nice centering pass to Alex Young. He gets another good opportunity on goal.
And to me, it feels like it's only a matter of time before the Gladiators break through here in the first period. They've done a nice job of winning faceoffs and keeping possession, and they've done it again here. Denemy around the net on his forehand. Surveys the scene. Backhands it deeper into the corner for McNamee. Centering feed makes its way to Young. Climbs to the top of the circle, feathers the puck across, hits the leg on the way, and is grabbed by Grissom and floated out to center. Orr whips it up the ice, does make its way to the toe of Rowe, so no icing. Great play there by the rookie. He heads off. Icemen charge up the ice With 6:55 left in period one. Pass up ice is intercepted by Burns. Squeaks it ahead to Francis. Cipollone tries to gain the attacking line and does, but is shouldered off the puck. Jordan handles on the near wall. Throws it out to center where it's grabbed by Gaudette at his own line. Feeling some pressure put on by Kopp. Gladiators roll it around the boards to the near side where Burns chops it to center. Free puck grabbed by Grando. Gladiators defense reels it in on the dump in. Now Burns taking it up ice. Stuffs at the attacking line. Jacksonville looks to break out off the free puck. Puts the puck over the goal and away from Semptimfelter. Gladiators get possession back again. Possession trading back and forth here over the last minute or so. Gladiators take it to the Jacksonville end wall. Scardina centers, nobody home. Only man there was an Iceman, and that was Kopp. He will dispose of it into the Gladiator zone. Iceman get a change. From the left wing is Sylvester, centering for O'Brien. Just a tad too far ahead. The Icemen take it up ice. McMaster with speed, fires off a stick and wide. Adam McMaster, dangerous for Jacksonville. Former Tulsa Oiler, has been an excellent acquisition for them. McMaster's got it again, slings it up the ice. Down the middle, shot is blocked off the stick of Bucco. Now O'Brien sends Walter into action. Springs it left wing for Sylvester. Across to Nychuk, dangling and wiping it off his stick was Cockrell. Great back check there for the alternate captain for Jacksonville. Walter keeps, returns it to Nychuk. Along the right wing, slows up and exchanges with Walter again. Now at the line, it's Orr. Long bid looking for a tip. He got it. Turning and shooting is Nychuk. That shot gets blocked as well. Orr from the left wing fires a rocket into the glove of Rowe with 4:58 to play in the first. These Gladiators are bombs away in period one, putting shots on net, but we're still in search of the first goal. Scoreless with under 5 to go in the first. We're back after this from our local partners.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
No score here with 4:58 left in the first period, but the Gladiators have dominated the shot count 10-4 to this point. Have spent a lot of time in the Jacksonville zone here in the first period. Feels like they are just moments away from breaking through. Another face-off win from Young as Nychuk surged down the left wing below the goal line, looking for help behind the net. Shadowing him is Whale. Puck is poked to the right point, held in by Orr, gets checked hard a few feet away from the boards. Gladiators try and poke it in on the far side. McNamee's bid would not go. Been a good first period for Cameron Rowe, the netminder for Jacksonville. Lead the Icemen to their victory on Sunday. Upset win 3-2 over the Everblades, who lead the division. Telguin bottled up at the Gladiator line. Icemen regroup and reload as Pietla slings it ahead off a stick and in deep. Around to the near wall. Burns off balance. Takes possession up the ice. Feed to the left wing makes its way to Walter. Pulls up and centers for Gaudette. Moves to his forehand. Scans the ice. Still with it. Fires off a stick. Blocking that was Jordan. 3-on-2 up ice for Jacksonville. Soft pass to the inside, taken away by Cipollone. Has Walter up the ice with separation. Walter fires wide of the mark. Now Jarvis along the left wing. Tries to keep the play alive. Puck goes over his head. He'll snatch it back at his own line. 3:30 to play in period one. Conroy barrels down the middle, tries to take a shot. Flubs off his stick, drags it to the near corner, centers for Burns. Sharp angle shot, turned away by Rowe. And up the ice go Jacksonville. Puck is put into the near corner. Les will beat out Friedman to it. Scardina off the stick of Appel, where it's grabbed at center circle by Condata. Finds Friedman up the ice. His pass across is a turnover to Mack. Overskated a bit. Scardina helps out, keeps the play alive at the far point. Extra swipe from Jacksonville, puts it out to center. Appel will jolt the puck in on the near side. Out the play, it is Rowe. Spins it to his left, off the bench is Orr. Puts a shot towards the net that gets blocked by Condata. He'll reel it in and put it up ice off the stick of Orr and away from danger. Atosha now on the near side, looks to center. Goes through the slot, out the other side. Scardina lifts it in front of his own bench where it ends up in there with 2:29 left in period one.
Yeah, it was a great pass by Joey Cipollone. Right through the center to hit Isaac Walter in stride, who had a step, but it was a really good back check by the Iceman. Walter using his big body, trying to gain position. Got a decent shot off, just chipped that one just over the crossbar, but a really good opportunity for Isaac Walter using his legs early.
And we've seen that many times from Walter this season. Seems like he goes from 0 to 100 real quick. Did it on that play to get the good scoring chance in. Stay out on the ice here. First line on for Atlanta with Orr and Nychuk face off to the right of Semptimfelter. Atosha, the rookie for Jacksonville out of Adrian College, will take this draw and lose it to O'Brien. O'Brien cross ice to Walter, will surge in on the right side. Will take it into the corner, kick it behind the net to Sylvester. Bodies bundled together in the far corner. Sylvester in the thick of it, puts it to the line. Orr scans, shoots, save made, rebound to O'Brien, and diving to keep it out was Rowe. Walter behind the net tries to wrap it in. Icemen make a defensive stand, wall up at the goal line, and keep the puck out. Somehow, some way. Heck of a save there from Cameron Rowe. O'Brien comes flying back in. Pulls up at the left corner from the half wall, slots it to the trapezoid for Denemy. Pulls up, threads it over to Sylvester. Up to the left point for Nychuk. He'll dance to his left, drop it off for the captain. Sylvester holds, fakes a shot, now fires. Blocked by Grissom, has his own rebound. He'll plug it deeper into the zone for Denemy. Try to chuck it cross ice to Gaudette. Hits a body and comes out to the neutral zone. Sets up McNamee in for the entry. Left wing shot eaten up by Rowe with 1:16 to play in the first.
Yeah, Gladiators really good in transition these last couple of minutes. Every time the puck gets chipped out of the zone, they're grabbing it. It's a quick up pass, and they're right back in the zone. I love what I'm seeing from the Gladiators in transition here. They're getting really good looks off the rush.
Young will take this face-off with McNamee to his left. Denemy to his right. Feels like the Gladiators been very strong at the dot here in the first period as well. Alex Young, one of those centers that's done a great job of winning face-offs, and he's done the job again here. Young in the left circle, off a quick pass, couldn't fire the shot off. McNamee behind the net, finds Young at the left wing. Up top for a shot by Jarvis, that gets blocked. 2-on-2, Jacksonville with the puck. Up ice is Cockrell, spins and centers. Moving towards the net for the chance was McMaster. Just couldn't hit the target. Now the Gladiators take it in transition. Young drags it along the left wing and fires. Save made by Rowe. Puck available behind the net. Young has it. He will center off the leg of Jordan back to the trapezoid. Here is Young again with 36 seconds to go. Scanning the ice, looking along the interior. Threads it across the line for a shot. That goes wide off the stick of Conroy. Comes out to center. McMaster has it. Cipollone the lone man back. McMaster cuts to the slot. Save made by Semptimfelter. But McMaster does draw the first penalty of the game with 20.5 seconds remaining in period one.
Yeah, it's a tough break for Joey Cipollone there on that trip. Coming off the bench, McMaster had a lot of ice in front of him. Cipollone had to try and cut him off. McMaster cuts inside. Cipollone trying to poke that puck off his stick, gets it in his feet, trips him up. Gladiators going to the kill late in this first period.
So the Gladiators are on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill for the first time tonight, and Not a bad penalty for Joey Cipollone to take there. Gladiators caught in between changes. Cipollone, the lone man, back forward playing defense. I feel like that's a easier pill for Matt Ginn and company to swallow here, especially with their penalty kill. Playing lights out as of late. Gladiators penalty kill now to 81.8%, 14th best in the ECHL. Jacksonville power play, 13.9, second to last in terms of overall percentage in the league this year. And offside called here on the Icemen. 7.5 seconds left. So in all likelihood, unless Jacksonville able to get a quick one here, Gladiators will open up the second period on the PK. 4-man out right now. O'Brien, Conroy, Burns, and Les. Conroy and Jankowski cheating a bit and jousting as well as we get ready for this next draw. The linesman, Phil Roosler, tells him to knock it off. Puck has dropped, Jacksonville with it. Cockrell in the neutral zone. Sends it across to the near side, which Grandpa Bucco at the buzzer. And that is the conclusion of the first period here on a Wednesday night in Duluth. No score after one. It's a tale as old as time. Gladiators in a scoreless first period. We've seen this a time or two before. Sets up the second period surge nicely. Gladiators' best scoring period this season is the second period. We'll see if they can once again surge. Coming up next is the first intermission report. Andrew will be joined by Shelby Rabideau to break down the first period of play and look ahead to the second. See if we do get that second period surge as they talk some shop here on a Wednesday night as we get ready for the second period of play. After one period, no score in Duluth, but the Gladiators with a strong first period outshoot the Icemen 14-5. We're back after this for the first intermission report.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track.
We don't just straighten you out, we empower you. We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%.
We even use lasers.
Lasers!
Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be breaking down everything that happened in that first period. But first, let's check in with our scores. We are starting this intermission once again with a scoreless first period. It seems like quite a trend lately for the Gladiators, Andrew, but the Gladiators had 14 shots on goal and the Jacksonville Icemen had 5 shots on goal. So the Gladiators definitely dominating this first period. Andrew, what have you seen from the Gladiators this period?
Yeah, they just completely had full possession of the puck, it felt like, that first period. And it really started with the face-off wins. I mean, me and Guy talked about it a little bit, but it seemed like every single face-off, the Gladiators were either just cleanly winning it or their wingers were crashing in and getting it back to the D. Every single face-off, and face-offs are huge because you get possession, you can kind of obviously go from there once you win that face-off. So I just thought the Gladiators did a really good job of winning face-offs that period and maintaining possession. That was my biggest takeaway. And then in the offensive zone, I thought they did a really good job working below the dots. They had a great cycle game. They were getting through the neutral zone really cleanly. I just thought it was a very crisp and clean first period from the Gladiators. Obviously, tie game going into intermission here, but I honestly thought it was one of the better periods that they played all year. Even though they didn't score, I thought they really controlled the pace of the play. You can tell by the shots on goal leading 14-5. So you'd love to see more from that from the Gladiators for the rest of the night.
Yeah, regardless of that, scoreless first period, I think it was one of their better ones from what we have seen in the past. And like you said, there was a lot of good looks for multiple players on the team. So it was a really exciting first period, regardless of that current score. And we are starting the second period on a penalty kill. We have about 1 minute and 40 seconds to kill. You want to break down how the Gladiators are doing right now when it comes to those specialty teams? Yeah, their penalty kill's been really good as of late. Coming into this one, they're clicking at about 81.8% for 14th in the league, but they've been really good as of late. They were slumping on the kill a little while ago, but they've really picked it up recently. And this Jacksonville power play having a little bit of a tough time, only clicking at 13.9% for 29th in the league. So you'd like to see the Gladiators get this kill here and get going. It was a tough penalty call on Joey Cipollone there. McMaster was coming in with a lot of speed, and it was a late change by the Gladiators. Cipollone hopped over the boards, and he had to basically cut all the way across the ice to kind of meet McMaster where he was at. And Joey Cipollone's momentum's going one way. McMaster, smart play, cuts inside to change to the momentum. And Cipollone trying to poke at the puck. He gets it into the feet of McMaster, trips him up. Gladiators to the kill. And do you think it was better for the Gladiators to take that penalty versus letting the Icemen get a goal there? Yeah. It definitely was. It's just a tough penalty to take because it's one that you can avoid. It's not a great line change by the Gladiators there. They got caught they got caught a little too deep in the offensive zone, and then Cipollone hops over. He's got to make a dart over to that far side to meet McMaster. So you don't want to put yourself in those situations, but if you let McMaster get by, he's got a pretty decent 1-on-0 with Septemfelter. So it's not a penalty you love to take, but in that scenario, it seemed like one you had to take. And, speaking of line changes, I want to bring up the fact that the Gladiators have signed a new forward to the team, Joe Mack. What are you seeing from him so far in this first period? Yeah, so what I really noticed from Mack in his first couple of shifts was something that I touched on just a little while ago, was the face-off wins. First 2 face-offs, he snapped them right back to the point. I was like, whoa, I was taken back a little bit. I was like, all right, he's coming out there, he's winning face-offs. You love to see it, but I thought he played with a lot of pace. I thought his legs were moving really well. He was getting in on the forecheck, which is what you want to see from him. I thought he had a pretty good first period for his not first professional. He played with the Athens Rug Lobsters, but his first period with the Gladiators, I liked what I saw from Mack. Yeah, I was going to mention those faceoffs too. I noticed that he won those first 2 faceoffs when he took the ice for the first time. And I also have to ask you about Evan Orr. This is the first time you have seen him play here in Duluth. So what are you thinking about him? Yeah, I really like that pairing of him and Nychuk. They're 2 defensemen who move the puck really well. I thought he made a couple of really nice plays at the blue line, able to pick up a puck, find a teammate, or make a nice move and make a good possession play. I thought he was really patient with the puck, and he was making a lot of really good decisions with it, which pairs really well with Chad Nychuk, who's kind of a similar player. He moves the puck really well. He makes good decisions with the puck, and they're both really good defenders. I didn't think they gave up really many good opportunities to Jacksonville. I don't think Jacksonville really had many good opportunities in that first period overall, but I really liked what I saw from that pair so far. Obviously, 2 left-handed defenders, so Nychuk's playing the left side, Orr is playing his offside on the right, which can be a little different for a defenseman. but I thought he's done very well with that so far in that first period. Moved the puck really well, had his legs going. I like his skating game. So yeah, that pair, both those guys looked really good to me in that first period.
All right, well, like we always do here on our intermissions, I ask everyone a question. You, the YouTube live chat. So today's question is quite familiar. It is, who do you think is going to get that first Gladiator goal? Now, we will talk about that when we come back, but we will also talk about what we want to see in that second period and how important this game is when it comes to the playoffs. So again, it is scoreless here in Duluth with the Gladiators out shooting the Jacksonville Icemen 14-5. We will see you after the break.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in, and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Need to build a professional brand? Alpha Graphics delivers with stunning signage, graphics, and marketing materials that are exactly what you need to earn clients' trust. Alpha Graphics. Bring your brand to life.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee Ward, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to talk about what we want to see in the second period. But first, we are scoreless here once again in Duluth, but the Gladiators are out shooting the Jacksonville Icemen 14-5. Now, before we headed to a break, I asked everyone who they think is going to score that first Gladiator goal. So, Andrew, we'll talk about that more, but first I want to ask you, how important is the win tonight when it comes to the Kelly Cup playoffs?
Yeah. Pretty important game here tonight. Me and Guy talked about it a little bit in the pregame show. So the earliest that the Gladiators can clinch a playoff berth is Friday. That next game against Jacksonville, obviously we got them at home tonight. Gladiators will travel to Jacksonville to play them on Friday. And then we need some little help elsewhere. So first, Gladiators need to win these 2 games against Jacksonville in regulation. Then we need Greenville to lose Friday night in regulation at Savannah. So combination of all those scenarios would clinch the Gladiators a playoff spot on Friday.
All right, well, definitely an important stretch of games here coming up, and hopefully the Glads can take that W. But first, let's talk about what we want to see coming up in that second period. We are starting off on a penalty kill.
Yeah, I just would like to see the Gladiators keep on doing what they're doing. I thought they were attacking in a lot of different ways. They had some really good opportunities off the rush, and then when they were able to establish possession in Jacksonville zone, they were doing a really good job of working the puck below the dots, getting up top to the D, looking for shots from the point, cycle work. Everything looked really good for the Gladiators in the offensive zone. So I'd just like to see them keep getting those opportunities in the offensive zone, and eventually one's going to pop in. They're pretty due for one. I thought they should have had one there by the end of that first period, but
they're due for one. I think they're going to break through hopefully early in the second period.
Yeah, we just need to keep up that momentum, and hopefully the crowd can give us some of that as well.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of things you want to see in the second period, who do you think is going to get that Gladiator goal?
You know what? I'm sticking with my prediction from the prediction that I made in the pregame show. I'm going Cody Sylvester. 8 games played against Jacksonville this season, 4 goals, 6 assists for 10 points. He's been very hot against Jacksonville this season. Would love to see the captain get on the board here in the second period.
Now, last time we played this fun little game when we had to guess who was going to score that first goal is we took the line sheet, and I kind of just closed my eyes and you know, Guy told me when to stop because there's a lot of good players to pick when it comes to getting that first goal, but I'm actually going to choose someone this time than playing a little fun game. I think it's going to be Joey Cipollone.
Okay.
I feel like we haven't seen, you know, that much of him lately when it comes to scoring, so I think he's due for one.
I agree. And I love that line that he's playing on tonight. Cipollone sliding in on center with Mickey Burns and Ryan Francis. I think that line works really well together. 3 guys who can skate really well. 3 guys who move the puck really well. I think they're due for one. I thought they had a really good period in the first. Obviously, Francis, very shifty player. And then Mickey Burns and Cipollone are more straightaway players. So I think they blend really well together, those 3 players. I really love what the whole lineup looks like tonight. I love that second line with McNamee, Young, and Denemy. Young, more of a facilitator, can move the puck, and then he's got 2 guys on the outside of him, McNamee and Denemy, who are just 2 big bodies who take up a lot of space. So I love the configuration of this lineup tonight. I think it looks really good, and it really looked good in that first period.
Yeah.
So props to Coach Ginn for putting the lineup together the way he sees fit, because it looked phenomenal in that first period.
There was a lot of good chances for quite a few players, and it just, one wasn't finding the back of the net.
Yep, but I mean, I think they're due for one. They'll hopefully get one.
Let's see what everyone else has
Let's
to say
see what
in that
we're
chat.
looking at in the chat. J-Bug coming in, gotta be Cap. Justin Burke, Cap. So we got a couple rolling with my Cody Sylvester prediction. I love it. I love to see it. Let's see here. Daniel's saying a pelt. All right, I like that one. A pelt sliding in on that 4th line left wing with Joe Mack and Ethan Scardina. Again, a line with 2 big guys and Scardina, who can really skate. Scardina's got wheels. He can absolutely fly. And then you got Mack and Appelt, who are 2 really big bodies who take up a lot of space. Again, nice, big, heavy 4th line. I touched on it a little bit in that first period. I loved what I saw from Mack, snapping back those faceoffs. He had the skating legs going. Felt like everybody in that first period on the Gladiators had their skating legs going, and they were getting in on the forecheck.
So no complaints from us up here, what we're seeing.
Joe Mama Burns is due for one. I agree. I think Mickey Burns should definitely get one. Talked about that line with him and Cipollone and Francis a little bit. That line looked really good. They were really clicking there, so could see them put one in the back of the net. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very exciting second period. Hopefully we get that second period surge, as the term that Guy has coined. The Gladiators have been absolutely phenomenal in second periods this year, so just kind of looking for more of that and just more of what we saw in the first period. There's I'm trying to think of stuff, but there's nothing to critique from the Gladiators in that first period. I mean, yeah, they could have made a couple of better passes, but that's just me being a little nitpicky. They looked phenomenal in that first period, and I'd love to see it continue in the second.
Yeah, and, you know, we've talked a lot about slow starts for the Gladiators, but that was a complete 180 of what we've seen.
That certainly was not a slow start. Yeah, the scoreless first period, that's been a theme recently, but the slow start was not a slow start tonight. I talked about it in the pregame a little bit. I wanted to see them come out in the first 5 to 10 minutes and really take momentum and not give Jacksonville anything, because as me and Guy talked about, a little bit of a trap game with Jacksonville coming in, Gladiators coming off of that big shootout win against South Carolina on Sunday. They had a great first period. Let's keep that momentum going in the second.
And I think they know it's an important game tonight as well when it comes to the playoffs. And it looks like they're heading back onto the ice. Once again, it is scoreless here in Duluth, and the Gladiators will come back after the break on a penalty kill. We will see you in just a bit.
Kind of feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Need to build a professional brand? Alpha Graphics delivers with stunning signage, graphics, and marketing materials that are exactly what you need to earn clients' trust. Alpha Graphics. Bring your brand to life.
We are set for second period action between the Gladiators and the Icemen. After a scoreless first, Gladiators will look to get the board on here in the second, but they will open the second period of play with 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the tripping penalty called against Joey Cipollone towards the end of the first period. Gladiators have been perfect on the PK in each of their last 3 games. Looking to stay on track here today against the Icemen. Guy Carenza alongside Andrew Fleming, Shelby Rabideau as well. This has been a game where the Gladiators did not have a sleepy start by any means, but still ended the first period scoreless. It is the 15th time this season that the Gladiators have been involved in a scoreless first period. This is game number 58, so you figure about a quarter of the Gladiators' games this season have featured a scoreless first period. Tonight fits that theme. And if the trends are correct, Gladiators are due for a second period surge in terms of scoring. To get this kill done first, here's McMaster from the left circle, floating a shot over the head of Semptimphelter. Kept alive by Cockrell at the right wing. Looking the ice, scanning his options, sends it to the goal line for McMaster. Takes the return feed and puts it to the line. Pietila throws it back to Cockrell. Quick pass to Jankowski, back to Cockrell, up the ice. Shot by Pietila. Absorbed by Semptimphelter with 1:01 left on the penalty to Cipollone.
Yeah, nice early save there from Semptimphelter. Shot from the point there by the Iceman. Semptimphelter getting out to the top of his crease, fighting for some positioning there, and he's able to see that one and gobble it up.
TJ Semptimphelter makes his 6th save of the night. Faceoff will be to his left. O'Brien will take the faceoff against Jankowski as Atlanta's skaters on the ice right now are Denemy, Nychuk, Jarvis, and of course O'Brien, who will take this face-off. Jankowski wins it. Pietila at the right point. Chips it off the wall to Cockrell. Looking down low. Connects with Bucco. He'll climb up the wall to the top of the circle. Bring it to the corner for Cockrell. Back to Bucco at the goal line. Pass from low to high, almost picked up by O'Brien. Jacksonville stays with it. Behind the net is Cockrell. Just a pull away from Jarvis. Hits a stick and goes to Jankowski, and now hits another twig and goes to Jarvis. With some help from Nychuk, the Gladiators will clear the zone with 30 seconds left on the PK. Penalty kill presented by Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda. As Pietila gains center red, drifts towards his right, tries to split the D, and has the puck roll in on Semptimphelter, who covers with 13 seconds left on the penalty.
Yeah, nice, good job by the Gladiators there, denying a clean zone entry for the Icemen, and that one just ends up sliding to Semptimphelter. He's able to freeze it, get a face-off in his end.
Face-off will be to his left. Andrew, you and Shelby mentioned in the first intermission, the Gladiators doing a great job of winning face-offs there in the first period. Possession very much in the Gladiators' favor in period 1. Outshot the Icemen by a wide margin. Right now is currently sitting at 15-6 in favor of Atlanta. And they do win another. Puck behind Semptimphelter in the trapezoid. Sprung up the ice to McNamee. 6 seconds left on the PK. Goes to the far side for Young. Hard around the boards to the near side for McNamee. Cipollone out of the box. He will join the play. Dahlgren up the ice. Chips it into the near corner. Conroy's there first. Knocks it off the wall to Less's D partner. He'll shuffle it to Young. Gladiators move up ice with numbers. McNamee slows along the right wing and centers. Hits an Iceman and goes into the near corner. Young tries to escape the heat. Iceman able to pick their way to the neutral zone. Gladiators take the puck away at the Jacksonville line. Nychuk fires. Save made by Rowe. Puck loose on the far side. Nychuk pooks it from corner to corner. Along the near wing it is Young. Scanning the ice and centering for Denemy. Active stick by Condada. Breaks that pass up. Icemen get out to center as they dispense of it into Gladiator ice. Quick pass down the middle goes to Burns. Burns fires and save is made by Rowe. And Burns off balance at the goal line, unable to keep the play in. Jacksonville scurries out to center. Martin off the left wing wall and in deep for Griffin. Nychuk takes a stab at it, takes it away in the far corner. 48 points on the season for Chad Nychuk, second amongst defensemen in scoring this season. Throws it to the right wing for a shot by Orr. Heads off to the bench. Jarvis on for Nychuk, collects it at the left point. Slides it around the boards to the near corner. Francis hustling, tries to beat out Jankowski to it. Extra effort from Cipollone as well. Gladiators caught in a board battle. Francis tries to slink away. With help from Cipollone, they do, but errant pass goes to Friedman. Jacksonville takes his chances up ice as they gain the red line and rim the puck around the boards into Atlanta ice. Jarvis will collect behind Semptimphelter. 3.5 gone by in period 2. Cipollone long shot from the neutral zone into the glove of Rowe. He will freeze with 16:23 on the clock. Never miss a goal. With FloHockey, you can watch today's event live, along with all other FloHockey games for the rest of the season. Visit FloHockey.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FLOHockey.tv. Near circle face-off, won by Jacksonville. Handled by Jordan. He'll float it to the neutral zone. Glove down by Jarvis at the red line. Takes a couple of checks. Puck squashed off his stick. Pietila to Grando. But they knock it to the Gladiator line. Atlanta takes it up ice. Here is Sylvester moving down the left wing. Throws it across to Walter. Pass out of his reach. Looking for a shot pass there. Captain to Swede. Did not connect. O'Brien tries to thread it to Walter on the right wing. It's the stick of Grando. They'll chip it into the near corner. Boxed away by Gaudette, who has lost his bucket. Forced to head off to the bench to get a new one as Walter plugs it to the left wing for Sylvester. Turn pass to Walter, hits a body. Icemen try and take it into Atlanta territory. Contested puck, slapped along the wing. Conroy takes it from the near corner and waits behind Semptimphelter. Icemen get a partial change in as Les scoots the puck up the ice. Long pass off and away from the intended target. Icing on Atlanta, 15-19 remaining in period 2. And the reason we have coined that term, the second period surge, well, the Gladiators' best scoring period is the second period. 62-47 in terms of scoring against their opposition in period 2. They hit the most shots in the second period with 558. And in the second period, the Gladiators have scored 2 or more goals 19 times. And to put that into perspective, they've done it 16 times in the third period and only 8 times in the first. For whatever reason, the Gladiators improvise and adapt after the first and explode in the second. We're going to see if that trend continues here. Scardina up the ice, tried to find a Pelt or less, didn't hit either. Puck goes to Jacksonville. Cross ice feed, makes its way in front of the Jacksonville bench. McMaster tries to exchange with Bucco. Gladiators wrestle the puck away. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Scardina barrels down the right wing. It takes a shot off a stick and wide of the mark. Iceman will lob it out to center. Grabbed by Conroy. He will lead the next breakout. Over to Mack on the near wing. Gains the Jacksonville line. Chips it deeper to Scardina. Working out in the near corner. First-year pro out of Bowling Green State. Leaves it for Appelt. Led onto the line and across to Orr. Now in the far corner. Puck hops off the stick of Young. Trying to get it back. Iceman able to play keep away. Scurry out to center. As puck will go out of play. The 14-13 left in period 2.
Yeah, a bit of a feeling out process here early in this second period. Jacksonville's come out better in this second period. More back and forth action here early in the second.
It felt like that first period had a lot of run and gun action, a lot of great plays in the transition game, paired with great zone time and face-off victories from the Gladiators. Here in the second period, been a bit more evenly matched. Face-off in front of the Atlanta bench. Gladiators have won it. Pass inside to Young. Doesn't make its way to his tape. Icemen spring it into Gladiator territory. Puck will be fielded by Orr. Almost turns it over behind the net. Gladiators are able to break free. McNamee at the red line, wraps it around the boards. Waiting in the trapezoid is Rowe. Backhands it to Whale. Moving along the right wing. Puts into the glove of Jarvis at the red line. Puck will twist to the near side. Denemy takes a swat at it. Goes into the glove of Lord Anthony Grissom, the former Swamp Rabbit. Trucks it across the ice. Jarvis tried to keep the zone, but unable to do so. And now Nychuk will handle in his own end. Pass up the ice on time for Young. Moves it inside looking for McNamee, and he just couldn't get a shot away at the last moment. Ran out of real estate. He'll head off. Meanwhile, Denemy strong in the near corner. Able to shrug off Craig Martin. Board battle here. Cipollone and Grissom join the fray. Denemy still doing the dirty work in there. Cipollone as well, but Iceman able to shake him down and pick it free. Up the ice is Griffin. The Iceman will thread the puck into the near corner. Jarvis will beat them to it. Passes into an open area for Francis on the right wing. Chip and chase from 86 in blue. Able to beat out Jordan to it, but extra check at the end wall divorces him from the puck. Jacksonville out to center. Gladiators create a takeaway. Here is Gaudette. Over to Les. 12:27 left in period 2. Cipollone to Les. Gladiators trying to be methodical here. Find an avenue in. Not going to happen on that play, though. Stretch pass from Les doesn't hit its target. Get frustrated there from the New Jersey native. This play's coming back into his own end.
Yeah, just not as clean early in the second period for the Gladiators as they were in the first. Having a little trouble connecting with each other here.
Face-off will be on the near circle. Cipollone will take this against Patosha. Patosha will win it. Puck available in the near corner. Pass from low to high. Escapes the zone. Rebel puts it in deep. Les behind the cage. Smacks it over to the near side. Francis spins away from the forecheck of Kopp. And now Sylvester takes it up the ice along the left wing. Able to shake off 2 Icemen. Caught up by a third in the far corner. Wrapped around the boards to the near side. Waiting to keep it in is Les. Finds Walter at the point. Across for a shot. Walter's pass found O'Brien. Just missed the cage. Icemen are able to clear. That was probably the Gladiators' best chance here of the second period. Walter takes it back in. Drags down the right wing and tries to shoot. Puck rolls off his stick. Icemen take it and try and exit. But a great keep by O'Brien keeps the play alive. From the near corner, tries to pull away from Grabel. Puck leaks beneath the near circle and is sent over to the far corner. Grabbed by Grabel again, left for Grissom. O'Brien puts it to the line for Nychuk. He'll shoot. It's a body on the way. Puck on the clearing attempt by Conroy. Fighting at the line, poked away by Grando. Nychuk, the lone man back. Swindles it away for Atlanta. Pass across is intercepted by Patosha. One-on-one with Septemfelter. Nychuk hustles on the back check to lift his stick. No shot there for the rookie. Iceman keep the puck in the zone. Drifting to the left wing is Cockrell. Looks to center. And the pass did not connect. 3 Icemen in the area, and nobody could snag it. We'll go all the way down to Rowe. Up the ice to Kandata. Over the attacking line is McMaster. Toe, drag, shot, flubbed on. Gladiators take it up ice. They've got numbers. Here is Orr from the left wing, scanning the interior. Tries to send it to the slot. Hit the leg of Whale. Goes away from danger. Game breaking wide open here, midway through the second. Looking to the right wing is Bucco. Across to Kandata. Inside, off the skate of McMaster. Into the open arms of Scardina. McMaster surging, bullies his way to the puck. Chucks it to the right wing for Cockrell. Who drops it off for Bucco. Now Pietola at the left point. Saucers it into the near corner for Kandata. Ward gets a stick on it. Slaps it to the near half wall. Scardina jabs it out to center. Gladiators get a much-needed clear. Can't get a change-out. Jacksonville barges right back in, or in the near corner, slides it to the far. Jarvis up the ice, wanted a pelt, didn't get him. Only one man's able to get off, and that's Scardina. Jumping on for him is Denemy. Pushed in deep once more by Jacksonville. At the left point, it is Pietila. Over to Jordan at the right point. Drifts inside and shoots, fired wide of Septemfelter. Jacksonville cycles up to the right point. The line is Jordan taking a shot into traffic, kicked away by Septemfelter through the screen. Here is Jordan again, feeding right wing. Pass to the slot, off the stick of Martin, leaks to Pietila. Saved by Septemfelter. Rebound back to the Jacksonville defenseman. They'll cycle the zone again. Jordan drifting to his left, feeds it to his right. Martin to the slot, broken up by Mack and sent to the line. Once again, held in by Jacksonville. This is the best they've looked in the Gladiator zone all night. Trying to make something out of it. Jordan scans and sets up a shot. Septemfelter diving. Might have gotten a piece of it, but looks like Orr may have got a block as well. And the Gladiators finally do clear, but not in the way they would have liked. Icing with 8:21 to play in the second period.
Yeah, Jacksonville, just total domination in the Gladiator zone there for the last couple of minutes. Able to retrieve loose pucks, get it out high, get shots on goal. Just a clinic in the Gladiators' defensive zone by the Icemen there. And now the Gladiators caught out with a lot of tired bodies there. Appelt and Mack have been stuck out there for the last couple of minutes. Gladiators got to get it clean out of their zone and get a change.
Critical face-off here. Mack will be tasked with it against Friedman. And Friedman's won it, but it splits the D. Karam's all the way out to the Jacksonville zone, and Appelt and Mack are finally able to get off. On comes Young and McNamee. Young on the far wall, tries to shrug off Jankowski. Two Icemen are there. Young off balance, can't keep it in the Gladiators' grasp. From the high slot, shot by Jankowski is blocked by Les. Gladiators take it up ice. 3-on-2, pass to the left wing, finds Denemy. Over to McNamee, he'll fire. Glove save for Rowe, and he'll hang on with 7:51 to play in the middle frame. So the Gladiators survive the onslaught by the Icemen, turn it into a scoring chance, but still no score here in Duluth. We're back after this.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear, we made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down, we go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee Ward, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
7:51 to play in the second period. Scoreless affair in Duluth. Zivel, performance and recovery. And boost energy. Zivel, train hard, recover smarter, and perform like a Gladiator every day. Gladiators try and power towards the net, swiped away from the slot. Good play there by Jankowski. He'll leave it to the neutral zone where the Gladiators get possession back. Andrew made a comment during the TV timeout that it's been a quick-moving second period. Not a lot of whistles here.
Yep.
Shot put on goal, save made by Rowe. And now as soon as I say that, we do get a whistle with 7:31 to play in the second.
Yeah, a lot of play in the Gladiators' defensive zone. Jacksonville just dominating possession the way the Gladiators did in the first period. First period was all Gladiators. Most of the second period, it feels like it's been a lot of momentum for Jacksonville. Able to cycle it in the Gladiator zone, get possession, work the puck below the dots up to the points, moving it around really well. But the Gladiators standing tall and keeping this game tied on the back of TJ Septemfelter.
Gladiators win the face-off, or fires, blocked by Cockrell, and he's feeling that one. Nychuk along the left wing, pulls up and centers, hits a body. Tried to find a tip from Burns, did not get it. And the Icemen take flight. Here is Bucco driving the right wing, goes around the net on his backhand, plugs it deeper. Cipollone creates a takeaway, puts it to the line, held in by Grissom, and he rings it off the iron. Gladiators catch a break. Icemen right back to business. Here is Cockrell sliding it down deep. McMaster centering feed is taken away by Nychuk. Finds Francis moving up ice, drifting down the right wing, scans the inside. Looks to center, but pass rolls off his stick and not much happening there. Icemen hustle up the ice. Cockrell in transition, drops off for a shot. Another one from Grissom, turned away by Semptimfelter. Whistle here with 6:40 to play in period 2. So still no score between the Gladiators and the Icemen. We're back to action after this from our local partners.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you. Satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
With 6:40 to play in the second period and no score, we're coming up on the final 2 minutes of the second period, which are Freddy's Frozen Minutes, where the Gladiators score a goal in the final 2 minutes of the second period. Everyone in attendance will receive one free mini custard at Freddy's on Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. We're 4:40 away from that, and in a game like this, Gladiators could very much use a goal for their efforts, and I wouldn't mind if it happened during the Freddy's Frozen Minutes. We shall see. Gladiators win the defensive zone face-off to resume the action. Quick tap from Sylvester finds Walter in the neutral zone. Here he goes, pulling his way down the right wing. Slows up, pushes it deeper, wanted O'Brien, but instead found Teus Jordan, the defenseman for Jacksonville. Puck will plop onto the stick of Sylvester in the far corner after floating into the air. Walter takes a stab at it as well, but once again, there is Jordan going to hand on it for the Icemen. He will push the puck up ice to Kopp. Moving down the left wing. Moves back up it. Quick pass to the right wing, sets up a shot. That goes wide of the goal mouth. Momentum carries the puck all the way to Jacksonville territory, and both teams see this as an opportunity to get a change in. On comes the fourth line for Atlanta. Appel, Scardina, and Mack. Jacksonville dumps the puck in. Behind the net is Conroy. Exchanging with Scardina. Turnover on the left wing, sets up a shot. That goes off the stick of a man in front that was Hillman. That goes wide of Semptimfelter. Behind the net, Jacksonville keeps. Available in the far corner. Icemen move it from low to high. Shot from the right point, blocked in front. Here is a Appel with separation. 2-on-2 for Atlanta. Scardina carries it over the attacking line and fires. Save made by Rowe. Rebound was available, but Gladiators unable to get to it in time as the Jacksonville netminder puts a paw on it with 5:09 left in period 2. And that's another timeout on the ice. We're going to take one up here as well. No score late in the second period. We're back after this.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
This is the 9th of 13 meetings between these two teams this season, and each of the last 5 meetings has been decided by 1 goal. For as miserable as the season as it's been for Jacksonville, they have played the Gladiators well, despite the Gladiators leading the season series 6 games to 2. Gladiators have won the last 4 meetings, dating back to December 7th. 3-2 wins on the 7th and the 19th. 4-3 overtime win on February 6th, and then a 6-5 shootout win in the last meeting on February 27th. Icemen trying to get out of their own zone, and they do. Whale in on the left side, throws it across, looking for Friedman. Tries to bang a shot on goal, hits a body on the way, and leaks over to the near side. Pass to the left point, makes its way to Whale, unable to keep it in, juggles it out into his own territory. Pass finds Friedman at the red line. He'll steer it around the boards to the trapezoid. Conroy returns the favor by jamming it up ice. Both teams get a change. Gladiators aggressive on the forecheck, have possession. Young to the goal line for McNamee. Takes a shot, hits the side of the net. Rowe able to keep it out. Now it is Jordan up the ice for Master. Out of his reach. Moore tries to clear the zone, held in by Cockrell. Puts it into the far corner. Gladiators wedged their way out to the neutral zone. Quick pass to Francis at the attacking line. Couldn't quite reel it in. Now Cockrell takes it down the middle. Splits 3 Gladiators and goes behind the net. Wraps it over to the left wing for Bucco. Back to Cockrell. 10 points in his last 12. Takes a shot. Shoulder save Septemfelter. Puck out of play with 3:45 on the clock in period 2. Interesting enough in this game, Andrew, we've only seen 1 penalty. That was the penalty to Cipollone back at the end of the first period. But it should come to no surprise that we are in this scenario, as these are 2 of the least penalized teams in the ECHL. Jacksonville with the least amount of penalties in minutes this season at 483, and the Gladiators only 2 notches above them at 555. 28th in the ECHL in penalties in minutes. Jacksonville from the right circle takes a shot off a stick. It'll go behind Septemfelter. Godet shadowed by McMaster. Chips it over to Burns, who turns it over. Now at the left doing it is Pietola, holding and shooting, whistling a shot just wide of Septemfelter. Momentum carries it all the way down to Rowe. Out to play it, whips it around the boards to the near wing. Clearing attempt makes its way to center. Jarvis handles and plugs it right back in. Low down by Rowe for Pietola. One of the pieces of that monster trade that sent Chris Brown and Garrett Van Wy to Toledo. Driving towards the net is Kopp. Septemfelter keeps it out. Now Pietola from the left corner, centers. Off balance was Grando. Puts the puck wide. On the near wing, the Gladiators maneuver to their own line. Jacksonville keeps for now. Second opportunity, sends the Gladiators up ice. They have numbers, pass to the slot, out of the reach of Sylvester. Tried to center once more from below the goal line, but Pietola gets a stick in front of it. Now Walter from his knees tried to set up a pass to the far wall. Jacksonville's able to pick it free. Grando knocks it in on the near side. 2:25 to play in period 2. Nychuk can't clear the zone. Shot from the line by Rebel. Goes into the glove of Septemfelter. He's now made his 14th save of the night. Shot.
Yep. Nice save there by Septemfelter there. Shot from the point from the Iceman. Septemfelter getting out to the top of his crease. Seeing that all the way through into the glove.
Shot count now 21-13 in this game. I should say 14, get that last shot in there, but either way, here's the Icemen have outshot the Gladiators 9-6 here in the middle frame. Gladiators win the defensive zone draw, weave their way to center. Icemen get a stick on puck. Here is Hillman, moving it from the left wing to the far corner. Handled by Orr, playing in his second pro game. Gets it to Nychuk, return to Orr, up the ice to Denemy, and away they go. Young down the middle, takes a shot off a stick and wide of the mark. McNamee now moves it from low to high, shot by Jarvis, goes to the slot, blocked by Condata. Gladiators keep it in the zone. Pass to the left wing, sets up a shot for Denemy. Save made by Rowe again. He'll hang on to it with 1:42 on the clock.
Lucky break there for the Gladiators. Looked like the Icemen had a man streaking out of the zone there looking for a breakaway pass, but just a little soft on the pass coming out of the zone. Gladiators were able to pick it off and get a pretty good opportunity off it from the shot from Denemy.
Gladiators on the ice. It is the first line, Sylvester, Walter, and O'Brien, with Gaudette and Jarvis on the blue line. Face-off on the far circle. Jacksonville has won this one. Gladiators pressing, trying to strip it away, and they do at the line. Sylvester to the right circle for O'Brien. Off the wall, back to Sylvester in the corner. Puck taken away by Grissom. Sylvester hounding that, trying to get it back, working with Walter. Rest along the boards. Puck is shaken down by Friedman. Jacksonville escapes to center. Merging 2-on-1. Pass across to Friedman. He fires and scores. Jacksonville strikes first with 1:12 left in the second.
Yeah, great pass there by Griffin. Low sauce pass. Throws it right out in front of Friedman on the 2-on-1. Friedman reaching out for it, able to grab it and put it in on Septemfelter. Great execution on the 2-on-1 from the Icemen. Gladiators got a little bit too aggressive at their own blue line, giving up that 2-on-1, and Jacksonville makes them pay for it.
TJ Friedman has his 10th goal of the season, and with 1:12 left in the second period, has broken the deadlock in this one. Friedman now 3 goals and 1 assist. 4 points in 3 games against the Gladiators this season. Francis on the near wall, trying to get this one back, gets tripped up and draws a penalty. Gladiators to the Eco-Electric power play for the first time tonight with 55.5 to go in period 2. And they've got a chance to tie this one up.
Yeah, Ryan Francis using his shiftiness, cutting back inside. And the Icemen, a little too active with the stick there, get into the feet of Francis, trip him up. Gladiators to the power play for the first time tonight.
It is Pietala going to the box for Jacksonville. With under a minute to go, Gladiators win the faceoff. At the right point, it is Nychuk moving towards his left. Goes across to Young. He'll take a shot. That gets blocked. Gladiators keep possession. Young tries to knock it between the legs to Nychuk. Pass escaped the zone. 40 seconds to play. Young to Nychuk, barreling down the middle. Bounces to the left wing. Puts it to the line. Sylvester to the right wing for Young. Back to Sylvester. Chip to Nychuk. Down low they go. Walter scans and shoots. Save made by Rowe. Tied up in front of the net was Young, and the Iceman will clear. 20 seconds left in the period. Cockrell is going to keep this puck and drag it around the ice to shave off time, and now plug it to the neutral zone with 12 seconds to play. Nychuk wraps it around the boards to Sylvester at his own line. One last gasp here in the second for the Gladiators. Young gains the attacking line, forced back out to center. Good play by Cockrell, and that's the end of the second period. No surge for the Gladiators. The Icemen hold firm. Jacksonville puts together a nice second period. And off the only goal of the game, off the stick of TJ Friedman, the Icemen have a 1-0 lead through 40 minutes of play. So no Freddy's Frozen Minute goals for the Gladiators. They are still head scoreless. They'll take care of business in the third. Coming up next here in Duluth, we have the second intermission report. Andrew will be joined by Shelby Rabideau. They'll break down the first 2 periods for you as we look ahead to the third. Gladiators trying to climb back into this one after surrendering the only goal of the game with 72 seconds left in period 2. Second intermission report coming up next after the break. Don't go away after these messages.
of feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track.
We don't just straighten you out, we empower you. We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%.
We even use lasers.
Fucking lasers!
Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabdo here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be breaking down everything that happened in that second period. But first, let's check in with our scores. Jacksonville Icemen won with 14 shots on goal, and the Atlanta Gladiators 0, 22 shots on goal. Now, the Atlanta Gladiators are coming back into the third with a power play for about 1 minute and 5 seconds. So definitely a different shift in pace here in this second period. Andrew, what were you seeing?
Yeah, you know, it felt like it was complete flip from the first period. First period, Gladiators dominated most of the possession, most of the offensive zone time. And in that second period, it was all Jacksonville. I thought Jacksonville played an insanely good period. They were all over all the good things that the Gladiators were doing in the first period. Jacksonville was doing them in the second. Really good work in the offensive zone. They were pinning the Gladiators in their own zone for what felt like minutes at a time. They were working well between the dots, moving around on their points, and they just had the Gladiators chasing them for most of that period. Gladiators completely lost all of their momentum from that first period in that second period, and it was all Jacksonville in that second period. And we talked about this before the game. Feels like every time we play Jacksonville, we talk about it being a bit of a trap game coming off of a big emotional win. We've talked about it the last couple of times, Gladiators coming off big emotional wins against Florida. Obviously, they had that big shootout win against South Carolina on Sunday, and then coming into this one, trap game against a struggling Jacksonville team that just seems to keep on overhauling themselves, and they play hard every single night. Seems like the last couple of times, the Gladiators have been able to come out with wins against Jacksonville, but not for lack of trying by Jacksonville. They always come out hard. They always come out with a lot of effort, because even though this team is most likely not going to make the playoffs, they still got a lot of guys who are fighting for jobs for next season. They still have a lot of pride in their play, and Jacksonville's showing it tonight. They're fighting, they're battling, and they got a lead going into the third.
So would you say that we've talked about the Gladiators when it comes to 5-on-5 hockey, and they're pretty dominant when it comes to, you know, five players on the ice. So do you think they can capitalize on this power play?
Yeah, you know, you'd love to see it. Gladiators power play coming into this game, clicking at 18.2% for 15th in the league. Jacksonville's penalty kill, 76.7% for 27th in the league. So Jacksonville struggles on both power play and penalty kill, just their special teams. In general, they do struggle. We saw the Gladiators get that kill at the end of the penalty at the end of the first period that carried over early into the second period. Gladiators with a pretty easy kill. Jacksonville wasn't really able to generate much on that power play, it felt like. So you'd like to see the Gladiators come out here, minute of 5 of power play time. You'd like to see them strike here, obviously, to tie this one up. You'd like to see them move the puck around well, gain entry into the zone, and set up their power play from there, and hopefully tie this one up early in the third.
Yeah, and, you know, We talk about a lot how the Gladiators play pretty dominantly when it's 5-on-5, and I know sometimes a power play doesn't necessarily need to be the #1 thing for them to win a game. So hopefully maybe getting a power play goal can hopefully switch their momentum up in this third period.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. And even if you don't score on this power play here, you want to generate some solid opportunities so that you can, as you said, try and change that momentum, because right now it's all going for Jacksonville. But if the Gladiators in this first minute and 5 of this power play can come out, generate a couple of good chances, try and start ticking that momentum back in their favor, I think it'll serve them well for the rest of this third period.
All right, and it is college night here in Gas South Arena, so I always want to ask you a question, ask the YouTube live chat a question. And my question for today is, since they've been playing a little bit of a throwback music so far here in the arena, I feel, do you have a song that kind of encapsulates your college experience?
Ooh, okay, that's a good one.
I'm
That's a good question.
Deep. I'm digging deep.
I'm gonna have to do some research on the Spotify during our break here to get a good answer for you, but we'll get one.
Alrighty. Well, we'll talk more about what you want to see in that third period when we come back from the break. Once again, the Jacksonville Icemen 1 and the Atlanta Gladiators 0.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear, we made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down, we go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Need to build a professional brand? Alpha Graphics delivers with stunning signage, graphics, and marketing materials that are exactly what you need to earn clients' trust. Alpha Graphics. Bring your brand to life.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee Ward, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabdo here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be talking about what we want to see in the third period, but first, let's check in with our scores. The Jacksonville Icemen 1 and the Atlanta Gladiators 0 as of right now. Hopefully looking to put something on the board here in the third period. So, Andrew, what are you looking forward to seeing the Glads do in this third period?
I'm looking for them to get back to the way that they played in that first period. That first period was... Obviously, Gladiators didn't score in that first, but it was as close to a perfect period that you can get without putting the puck in the back of the net. I'm looking to get back to that game that they were playing in the first period. They were really good in transition, getting the puck cleanly through the neutral zone, and then getting in on the forecheck, establishing possession below the dots, moving the puck around in the offensive zone, and getting good opportunities on net. So really, I'm just looking for a repeat of that first period and the Gladiators to get on the board here in this third.
And I wrote down before we headed into our intermission that the third period is also fairly good for the Gladiators when it comes to shooting. They outscore their opponent 60-50 in the third period. So it might not be a second period surge, but it's a third period.
We had one in the chat here, actually. I'm looking for it. Daniel, third period throttle.
Okay.
That's a really good one from Daniel. I'm coining that one. Guys got the second period surge. I'll steal Daniel's and we'll go with the third period throttle. I love it.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of the YouTube live chat, I did have a question for everyone, and that is, since it's college night here in Duluth, they're playing a lot of throwback music here. So my question is, what was the song that encapsulated your college experience? Like, what was your #1 song when you were, going to parties in college?
Okay, you got to go first.
Okay, so I have 2. So Closer by Halsey and the Chainsmokers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then I don't think it's is it the name of the song Broccoli?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Is that the name of the song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Is
okay,
it
that's a throwback.
Was the group called Race something?
Oh yeah, I don't know the name of the group.
Do you remember the mannequin
yeah.
challenge?
Yeah.
We should bring that back, I think.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, we should actually do it for social media. Get everyone on the ice, and then we can do the mannequin challenge.
Yeah. Well, I mean did you see earlier in the year they were like doing because obviously it's 2026 and 2016 was just such a big year for pop culture that people were doing all the old trends from 2016. So you think we need to bring back the mannequin challenge?
The mannequin challenge is a good one.
Yeah.
Let us know if you remember that one. What are your songs, Andrew?
You know what? The first name that comes to mind is Pitbull.
Okay, yes.
Because, I mean, you go out in college and you always hear at least one Pitbull song.
Okay.
I feel like that's got to be my choice. You can't really pick one Pitbull song. At some point, they all just kind of blend together, and you just kind of recognize it's Pitbull. It's that same kind of riff that he has, That's, if I'm thinking music in college, it's got to be Pitbull somewhere in there,
Have you ever gone out a Halloween in college and everyone's dressed up as Pitbull?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good costume.
Yeah. Wasn't ever me, but
No,
but
never dressed up as Pitbull.
Maybe there's still time. There's still time.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time.
Maybe this year. I would love to see Pitbull in concert, honestly.
That would be a really good
would be
concert.
fun.
My sister saw him once, and she said he was amazing in concert. That would be a really good one. All right, let's see. We got some coming in the chat here. Stadium Arena, Blink-182 and My Chemical Romance, always my favorite. Those are a couple of good ones. I like those.
You know what's a classic? Why can't I think the title of the song? But
you know the band?
Never mind. I lost the thought. But there's a classic that they always play. It's gonna bother me. I'll remember. Someone will say it, and I'll remember. Because I feel like it's just it's it's not for a certain year. It's an older song.
Okay. Let's see what else we got. Daffy Duke coming with Linkin Park and System of a Down. Love to hear it. Stadium Arena a little bit earlier. Green Day.
Green Day's good.
Okay. And then we had another one here. I'm looking for it. J-Bug, anything in the rock, metal, punk genre, TBH. All right, yeah. I mean, feels like we have a lot of punk rock coming into the chat here. I love it. I like Blink-182. Another one that came to my mind was My Own Enemy by Lit. It's just a kind of, it's a I want to say mid-2000s. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but a mid-2000s, just really good punk rock song.
Okay.
That one always kind of resonates with me when you're thinking about college, because it's just about doing stupid stuff in college.
I don't think I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's a good one. You should listen.
I remembered Mr. Brightside.
Oh, yep. Oh my gosh, I should have said Mr. Brightside. That is the song.
That is the song.
Yep. No, you're right. That is the song you go in college. You hear that at least once a night when you're out on the town.
That's the song that ends the night.
Yeah. It's always a really big sing-along song.
Yes, those are the best songs.
Yeah,
when you're out.
Yeah, if you ever go to a karaoke bar or something, someone's always playing Mr. Brightside.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
My go-to karaoke song?
What is
that's a
everyone's
really
go-to
good question.
karaoke song?
We're gonna have to revisit this later in the season because that's a really good question.
Mine is Mamma Mia.
Okay, that's a really good one.
Any ABBA song.
Yep, that's a
Those are
really good one. You know what? I'm gonna have to go with the one I always like to do is "Werewolves of London" by Warren Zevon. That's a really good one. It's a bit of a deep cut.
I listen to a different genre of music.
Yeah. We're not really clicking here. Delta Dawn.
Okay.
By Tanya Tucker.
I know this one. Yeah.
Great song.
I'm more on the pop end of things. If you couldn't tell.
Yeah. Or I'm gonna really show my music taste here.
Okay.
Silver Springs by Fleetwood Mac.
Ooh.
It's a really good one.
Fleetwood Mac is so good.
Yeah.
So good. I'm also always singing a Taylor Swift song. Can't take me anywhere without a Taylor Swift song.
No. Let's see. We got a couple more coming into the chat here. J-Bug, Chop Suey by System of a Down. Really good song. Really good song.
Listen,
You got to check some of these out.
know,
Some of these punk rock.
I was just about to say, I'm like, I gotta
check
look
some of
these
these
up
out.
when I leave.
The chat's on fire tonight. I love it. Yep.
Yeah,
Daffy Doo, Mr. Brightside by the Killers. Great song. Yep.
Someone make me a playlist.
Yeah, we might need to.
Educate me in different musical genres.
I know. We might need to.
Well,
you got to save that karaoke question, though. We can spend some more time on that at a later date.
Well, looks like the Gladiators are heading back onto the ice here for that third period. And as Andrew's claiming, third period throttle, hopefully. But once again, the Jacksonville Icemen won, the Atlanta Gladiators 0, and the Atlanta Gladiators will start this third period with a power play for 1 minute and 5 seconds. We will see you after the break.
Kind of feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
The Jacksonville Icemen lead the Atlanta Gladiators 1-0 after 2 periods of play. We are set for the final frame. Gladiators wearing their blue jerseys with gold trim will skate from right to left. Icemen wearing their white jerseys with black numbers and blue trim will skate from left to right. An unexpected goal at the end of the second period has been the difference. TJ Friedman on the board for the Icemen has it at a 1-0 game, but the Gladiators do open the third period with 1 minute and 5 seconds of power play time with Jed Yedela in the box. Andrew, what are you looking for out of these Gladiators here to start the third period? Try and get back into this game with that power play on the board.
Obviously, you'd like to strike within this first minute and 5 seconds left on this power play. But if not, just gain some possession, gain a little momentum, use this power play to your advantage. Don't let Jacksonville kill this one off cleanly. You want to generate at least a couple of opportunities on this power play. Get the momentum going into your favor so you can get rolling here in this third period.
Guy Carenza alongside Andrew Fleming. Third period underway in Duluth. And the Icemen do open it with a face-off win and a clear. So now down to 55 seconds. The Gladiators work their way up the ice. Here is Walter with the head of steam. Dishing it off to Young. He'll cut to the slot, try and set up a shot. Drifts to Nychuk, feeds it right circle. Back to Nychuk at the high slot. Takes a shot wide of the mark. He was looking for a tip there, did not get it. Sylvester from the left wing puts it back to the line. Nychuk right circle, fanning on a shot was O'Brien. Vandana tries to strip him of the puck, down to 30 seconds on the power play. O'Brien to Young in the far corner. Pulls away from Kandata, puts it to the line for Nychuk. Moving towards his left, passes to his right. Young down low for a shot, save Rowe. Rebound to Nychuk on the near side. Puts it up top, Young to Nychuk, holding and shooting. Save made by Rowe, loose in the slot, and the Iceman clear to the line. Pietla out of the box, back to even strength as Jacksonville. Gladiators keep the puck. Young holding, shooting, save Rowe. Rebound goes to Bucco. Iceman will try and clear. Sylvester creates a takeaway. Gladiators in the midst of a partial change. Send Conroy and Cipollone onto the ice as the Icemen clear the puck and get a wholesale change off that penalty kill. 1:30 gone by in the third. Gladiators dump the puck in deep, and they do call icing, but it looks like Burns had a step.
Yep.
Thought he beat that one out,
yep.
but they call an icing, and I wonder if they might bring this back to center circle here. Does not appear so.
Doesn't look like it. Burns was the first to the puck there. The puck came to his stick on the rim there on the icing, but
interesting call there, but
yep.
It is what it is sometimes. And the face-off to the right of Septenfelter. Cipollone will take this for the Gladiators up against Hillman. Hillman's won it, pass to the line. Whale driving right wing, puts it to the trapezoid. What did Telgwin? Gladiators will take that away and move up ice. Quick chip off the wall to Francis. Cuts around the net and draws a penalty. Gladiators off to the Eco-Electric power play again. 7 seconds under 2 minutes gone by in the third.
Yeah, another penalty drawn by Ryan Francis. He's using his legs tonight. Drew that one right at the end of the second period. And you hear cutting around wide, using his legs. Got hooked up there by Martin. And the Gladiators right back to the power play here in this third period. I really liked what they did on that first period. Obviously not that first power play. Obviously not able to score on that power play, but I really liked what they did. They got some really good opportunities off of it. Now they got another opportunity here a couple minutes later.
Gladiators will start with the second power play unit. Face-off won by Cipollo. Or at the right point, leaves it for Francis. He'll turn and shoot, save made, or shoot, I should say block made. Back over to the right point, back to Francis. And he is being hounded right now, clearing the zone. Strong there was Hillman. Great play there for the Icemen. Gladiators forced to regroup and reload. McNamee pounds it into the far corner. Cipollo steers it up to the left point. Or with it, across to Francis. Scanning the ice, seeing his options. Sauces back to Orr. Center point to Francis. Drifting to the left circle, tried to take a shot and fanned on it. Keeps a hold of the puck and then passes to no one at the line. Puck escapes the zone. 50 seconds gone by on this power play. And the Gladiators will start to trot out the first unit. Burns tattoos it off the end wall to Sylvester. Wrapped up to the right point. Young unable to keep it in. Good stab there from Cockrell. Gladiators forced to start this breakout from their own end. Here is Nychuk leading the charge. Finds O'Brien up the ice. Left for Sylvester. Led onto the line for Nychuk. Across to Young. Back to Nychuk. At the right point, he shoots. Puck hops wide of Rowe. Now Sylvester from the left point. Surfs the line. And sauces to Nychuk. Down the left wing. Walter inside. Left for Nychuk. And a glove save made on his bid from the top of the left circle by Rowe.
What a save by Rowe with the glove there. Nychuk wide open. Right at the hash marks, tried to pick his spot, high glove, and Rowe just absolutely robbed him. Nice setup by Walter there to set up Nychuk for that one-timer.
Well, Cameron Rowe has made a series of splendid saves here tonight for Jacksonville. 24 shots on him, 24 saves, and you got to think that he is going to be in the conversation for one of the 3 stars, win or lose, with the way that he has played tonight. Face-off on the near circle. O'Brien will take this against Friedman. O'Brien wins it, sets up Nychuk, drifting across the line. Plays it to the right wing for Sylvester. Down low to O'Brien. Back up top, Nychuk scanning and shooting. It's blocked by Friedman. Puck tumbles out to the neutral zone. 10 seconds left on this Gladiator power play. Young climbs right back in. Tries to center. Walter boxed out of the slot by Jordan. And the puck is cleared. The first-year pro, and once again, the Gladiators come up empty-handed on the power play with a chance to tie the game. See if they can generate some momentum off of it. Had a couple of good looks. Much of the second period belonged to Jacksonville. Pass to the slot off the stick of Appelt. Snatched by Jankowski and iced. See another face-off near Cameron Rowe, and that could be one of the breaks that the Gladiators needed, Andrew. You think one of those minuscule moments in the game, but Iceman iced that puck, and it is an offensive zone face-off for the Gladiators, who have done a good job of winning face-offs here tonight.
Yep, Gladiators really good in that first period, winning draws. Joe Mack came out, won a couple of really nice draws on his first couple of shifts. Let's see if he can get one here.
Mack against Friedman, far circle. And Friedman is victorious for Jacksonville. Puck plugged to center. Jarvis trickles it back in. Off the near corner wall. It is grabbed by Grissom. Pressured by Appelt. Scardina and Appelt on the forecheck for Atlanta. Create a turnover. Gaudette at the line. Feeds it across from the right wing. A shot is gobbled up by Rowe. Off the stick of Jarvis. Andrew Jarvis still looking for his first goal of the season. Had 6 last year, which all 6 goals last year were the first 6 goals of his pro career. Jarvis, those 6 assists in 52 games this season. Scoring, not really his thing. Strong defensive play and eating shots. That is more of the forte of Andrew Jarvis. He heads off, and on comes Les and Conroy. Gladiators win the face-off. Les at the right point takes a shot. Glove save Rowe. He'll play it off the end wall to the near corner. Gladiators take it in. Conroy drifting towards his right. Moves to his forehand. Pulls up, turns and shoots. Shot is blocked. Icemen take it out of the zone and up to center ice. In on the left wing for a shot. That goes wide off the stick of Kopp. Now McNamee sauces the puck into the Jacksonville zone. Change on the back end. On comes Nychuk and Orr. Jacksonville at center. Lugs the puck off the end wall. Septim Filter slows it down in the trapezoid for Nychuk. Up the ice finds Francis. Quick pass to the left wing for Young. Will slide it around the boards to the trapezoid where it's played by Rowe again. This time to the far wall. Cross ice feed is intercepted by Nychuk. Centering one at Francis, and he was hogtied by Pietola. No shot there. Puck out to center again. Here is Nychuk, backing on the left wing. Chipping it to Burns in the corner. Over to Cipolo. Nychuk at the blue line, puts a shot to the slot, hits a stick, goes back door. Burns peels away. Looking to the inside, finds Orr for a shot. That goes wide of Rowe and out of play. 6:02 gone by in the third. Gladiators gaining some steam here in the third. All it takes is one. Jacksonville leads 1-0 with 13:58 to play.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in, and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
13:58 left in the third. All it takes is a shot for this game to be brand new again. Jacksonville leads 1-0. Gladiators lead the shot count 27-15. Back in the offensive zone, Burns down low to Francis. In front of him is Grissom. Puck is jabbed to the near side. Chasing after it is Burns. 2 Icemen there, able to keep it away from him. Tenacious, though, these Gladiators trying to wedge it off the wall. Cipolo and Francis, now Burns in the fray. Francis almost got caught for hooking there. Carefully peels away from the play. Iceman lob it to the line and blowing a tire was Telgwin. Iceman try and bulldoze their way in, and now here's a penalty. Nychuk draws it. Gladiators back to the power play. 13:18 left in the third.
Yep, Iceman there, just a little too aggressive on the forecheck. Trip up Nychuk. It looks like it'll be Martin back to the box for his second penalty in a couple of minutes. Send the Gladiators back to the power play here.
And so, Andrew, this power play, there's been times this season where the Gladiators have had chances to tie the game or win games on this power play. And for the majority of the season, they have not been able to convert on these chances. Here we are in this scenario again. Going to find out if this power play has what it takes at this stage in the season to come up clutch for the Gladiators and tie this game up at 1.
Yeah, they've looked really good on their first 2 opportunities. Would just like to see them put one in the back of the net here.
Watch out for Alex Young and Jack O'Brien on this power play for the Gladiators. 7 power play goals each for Young and O'Brien to lead the team. Sylvester from the right wing puts it down low to Young. Out of the corner, back to the captain, to the line for Nychuk. Over to O'Brien. Now Nychuk once more. O'Brien again from the left wing. Down into the near corner for Young. Over to O'Brien. Up top, Nychuk fakes a shot, sets up Sylvester. Kick save, rebound, put wide by O'Brien. Sylvester has it. Off the missed shot. Pass below the goal line intended for Young. Goes to Jacksonville, and they will clear. And now here's a turnover at center circle. Nychuk carefully keeps it away. Hand pass, stops the clock. But oh, that looked dangerous for a moment there, Andrew. Chad Nychuk might have just saved the day.
Yeah, Nychuk trying to just poke that puck by. If he misses that one, Jacksonville's in alone on a shorthanded breakaway, but nice break up there by Nychuk. Quick decision making. He could have either came back, played it one-on-one, or he could go for that puck, risk it, and he makes a good decision, breaks that one up. But hand pass there for the Gladiators, and they got to come back into their own zone to start here.
Unfortunately, giving up shorthanded goals has been a problem as of late. 5 allowed in their last 12 for Atlanta. Puck in the near corner. Sylvester knocks it to the line. Nychuk with space. Throws it across to Young. Back to Nychuk. Over to Sylvester. Takes the shot. Slides it down low. Wanted Walter beneath the left circle. Down to the line it is Nychuk. Young, right circle to Sylvester. Turning and shooting. It's blocked by Jordan. Sylvester with it again. Puts it up top. Young to Sylvester. One-time bomb blocked by Jordan again. And he is going to feel that one in the morning. And he's certainly feeling it right now.
Yeah.
Hobbling to the bench is Jordan. Blocked 2 Sylvester missiles. Ouch.
Yeah, Jacksonville defense been doing a really good job of blocking shots tonight. Gladiators having a little bit of trouble getting pucks to the net because Jacksonville's been really good getting into shooting lanes and blocking pucks.
So the second unit comes on. Cipollone, Burns, Francis, McNamee, and Orr. Off the face-off, Gladiators thought they had it won, but Icemen strip it away and mail it down to Semptimfelter. 30 seconds left on the man advantage for Atlanta. Cipollone feeds it left wing to McNamee with speed. Closes into the near corner. Taken to the wall. Puck knocked free. Behind the net, Condata grabs it, and he will clear for Jacksonville. Down to just 10 seconds on this power play. One last charge for Orr. Has McNamee on the left wing again. Makes his way to the corner. Burrows there, and Burns will jolt it up top to Orr. Penalty expires. Barton out of the box. Back to 5-on-5. Gladiators 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. Francis driving down the left wing. Has it wiped off his stick by Martin. Cleared to the neutral zone with extra help from Grando. Gladiators peel it off of his stick, although he definitely wants it back. Chasing after Denemy. That former Regina Pat able to shuffle it out to center. Jarvis. Surge down the right wing, get upended. WWE style by Patosha, and back to the power play we go. And you know what they say, something like the 4th time's the charm?
Let's hope so.
We'll find out. Gladiators with another chance on the power play here to break through and tie the game. And I mean, it's one of those ones where it's just textbook.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Jarvis. The arm bar.
Yeah. It's like you're playing Red Rover in the schoolyard. You just get clotheslined. Ryan Patosha off to the box. Jarvis draws the penalty, and the Gladiators will trot out the first unit. And they had a couple of good looks there on that last one from Cody Sylvester, Andrew, and it seemed like they really wanted to set him up for that one-time shot from the far circle. He's been posted up on that far wall in this power play. That's been his office.
Yep.
We'll see if they try and set him up again or try and go with other options here after that did not work on that last sequence. Face off to the left of Rowe. Young will take it against Bucco. And Young does win it, but it does carry him oddly off the glass into the Jacksonville bench, and it's all for naught. Do it again.
Yep, Gladiators got to do a better job of getting shots through to the goal on this power play here. A couple of big shot blocks by Jacksonville on these last couple of power plays. Gladiators got to avoid those and get pucks to the net.
Tejas Jordan, one of those Iceman defenders that blocked 2 of those Sylvester bombs on that last power play for Atlanta. He's back on the ice now, stationed in the slot next to Isaac Walter. Young's won the draw. Nychuk at the right point, scans the ice, sets up O'Brien at the left point. They will trade places. O'Brien to Nychuk, left circle, shot, save Rowe. Rebound, cleared by Cockrell. Felter comes out to play it. Left for O'Brien. And a whistle and a penalty. 10:23 left in the third, and it appears like we're going to play 4-on-4. O'Brien to the box for slashing.
Yeah, it's a really tough penalty to take if you're the Gladiators. You got your fourth power play in the last couple of minutes. Opportunity to tie the game, and you take a penalty on the power play. Those are always the worst ones when you take penalties on the power play. That's just a real momentum killer there for the Gladiators. We're going to play 4-on-4.
And the open ice might benefit the Gladiators here. They win the defensive zone face-off. And now they have a little bit of room to work with. Conroy blazes to the neutral zone, sets Walter up for a backhand shot. That's stopped by Rowe. Now it's Jacksonville's turn. Bucco pulls up at the right point, feeds it across for a shot. Save Felter. And he'll pounce on the rebound off the drive from Pietola. So at 4-on-4 action, the clock will stop. 9:59 left in the third period. 4-on-4 play will resume after this from our local partners.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
4-on-4 action. 9:59 to play in the third period. The Jacksonville Icemen have a 1-0 lead over the Atlanta Gladiators. Face off to the right of Felter. Cipollone to take this against Friedman, who has scored the only goal of the game to this point. Off the face-off victory from Cipollone. Conroy takes it through the neutral zone. Drop pass to Francis at the right point, turns it over. Here go the Icemen. Friedman along the right wing centers off the stick of Rebel. Gladiators take it up the ice. Francis leads the charge, passes right wing for a shot. Save made off the bid from Cipollone. Good play from the Gladiators in transition. Here is Nychuk burrowing his way along the left wing. Taken away by Kundata. Iceman will move it from wing to wing. Lost a little bit of steam there. McMaster has to come back into it to reel it in. Still at 4-on-4 for the next 27 seconds. Aggressive on the forecheck is Young, trying to shake down Pietola. The Iceman able to keep for now as the puck drifts into open space on the near boards. Pietola, left for Martin, gets around Young. And now Nychuk. Martin, left wing. Around the net goes Pietola. Drop pass to Martin. Up the near wall. Jacksonville on the power play for the next 17 seconds. Dancing towards the goal. Shot by Hillman. Kept out by Felter. 8:35 on the clock.
Yeah, nice save by Felter there after a couple of nice moves by Hillman. He's able to stand tall, attack the shooter there, make a nice save. Keep the deficit at 1.
And despite only 17 shots on goal for Jacksonville, Felter has had a nice night, and he's seen a lot of these Icemen this season. This is the 9th meeting. This is the 8th time that he's been in net. Not by design. He and Heider have rotated starts this season. Just so happens that Felter's seen a lot of the Icemen, but coming into the night, 2.54 goals against average, 903 save percentage in the 7 games prior, and a 6-1 record. Face off to his right. Won by Cipollone. Jarvis hustling to it, keeps it away from Jankowski. Gladiators pelt it off the near wall, but not out. Kept by Whale. Finds Griffin on the right wing. Back to Whale. Over to Griffin. O'Brien out of the box as Griffin fires over the cage and into the far corner. They'll wrap it up the boards. 5-on-5 play here with 8:10 to play. For those of you who missed it earlier, Gladiators lead the season series 6-2, but the last 5 meetings have all been decided by 1 goal. And the Gladiators have won the last 4. Icemen with the puck deep in their own zone. Looking to start a breakout. Whale down the middle, bounces to the left wing. Puts it around the boards to the near corner. Jarvis gets a stick on it, as does Kopp. Gladiators move up ice as Gaudette chips it to Francis up the ice. Tries to split the D. Nothing happening there, but a takeaway for the Icemen. Gladiators stuff him on the zone entry. Sylvester at his own line. Pulls away from Patosha. Moves it rink wide to Conroy. And he will just shuffle it down to the trapezoid where it's played by Condata. Gladiators pressuring on the forecheck. Create a turnover. Walter gets the job done. Exchanges with Sylvester. He's able to escape a hit and looks to center. Bounces to O'Brien. In the far corner. Stutter step pass to the line. Now Conroy has it at the left point. Across to Les. Sets up a shot for O'Brien. Save. The rebound in the slot. Swept away by Kopp. Now Condata from his own end wall gets checked by Sylvester. Puck is free. O'Brien has snatched it. Tries to weasel his way out of the far corner. Puck jumps to Walter. Backdoor Sylvester. Puts it to the line for Les. Here is Conroy taking a shot. A floater dropped right in front of Rowe, but he's able to snag it with 6:33 to play.
Really nice work by this Gladiators top line. Good work by Walter. Below the dots, cycling that puck low. They're able to get it out high to Les and Conroy. Conroy moving across the line, able to put one on net. Looked like it may have floated or hit something on the way in. It was a tough save for Rowe. Gladiators generated some opportunities here late in the third.
In a game like this, it's pretty tough to diagnose the problem. I mean, it's been so tough and so tight tonight for the Gladiators. You got 32 shots on goal, so usually the remedy is get shots on goal. But for now, the Gladiators have done a nice job of doing that. Just haven't gotten one to go. Young on the far wall, puts it up top. Nychuk drives down the wing, has some separation for a shot, save, rebound, available at the right point. Young has it, keeps the play alive. Pass to the slot, intercepted. Icemen take it up ice and into Gladiator territory. 6:10 to play. Cockrell cycles the zone like a vulture, puts a shot on goal. Semtenfelter stops it. And now the puck will leak out to the neutral zone with 6 minutes to play. Jarvis over to Gaudette and out to the neutral zone. Puck will plop down into the near corner for Jarvis. Francis up the ice, whiffs on a pass, taken away. Jacksonville tries to send Martin on the run. Slowed down a bit on the zone entry, forced to dump it into the trapezoid. Hillman spins it into the near corner. Catching up to it is Telguin. Big crunch there. Puck is free. Handled by Hillman and dropped even deeper. Telguin tries to center. Defended by Jarvis. Puck stays along the edge. Jarvis feeds right wing for Burns. Mercyhurst product. Chucks it to the left wing for Cipolo, and he'll drive it in. We're under 5 minutes to play. Jacksonville scampers out to center. Les will move it back behind his own net. And it is worth noting, in the last meeting between these two teams, Jacksonville did have the lead late, and the Gladiators tied the game with an Alex Young score in the final minute, as Sylvester is bottled up on the zone entry. So this game far from over, although time is trickling down. Conroy drags it over the red line. Exchanges with Sylvester on the entry. Conroy with return feed. Catapults it to the right wing. Less pinching, tries to keep it in, but The Icemen do clear the zone as it rolls in on Septemfelter, no icing. Jacksonville changing, Gladiators try and catch him, but active stick from Koff gets in front of it. Clock stops offside on the Gladiators. 4:01 to play. Do the Gladiators have another magic moment in them? Can they tie this game in the final 4 minutes? We'll find out on the other side of the break here in Duluth.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
We are down to crunch time. 4:01 to play in the third period. Jacksonville leads 1-0 over Atlanta. All it takes is one in this game. We made anew again. Face off to the left of Septemfelter. Gladiators win the draw. We'll keep an eye on TJ Septemfelter. If this score holds, see when Matt Ginn would elect to pull the netminder for an extra attacker in an attempt to tie the game. Not quite there yet. Or lugs it over the red line and heaves it into Jacksonville territory. Gladiators pinching, trying to keep it in deep. It'll leak up the ice. Kopp shuffles it back into Atlanta territory for an icing with 3:34 on the clock. And the Icemen don't appear to agree with that call. But it will be an offensive zone face-off for the Gladiators with the second line on the ice. It looks like they're actually shuffling things up a bit. Burns, Francis, Denemy, Nychuk, and Orr on the ice for Atlanta.
Yeah, looks like Denemy's going to slide in, play some center here, take this draw.
It's normally where Joey Cipollone would be. And off the draw, Denemy's won it. Francis sets up a shot for Nychuk. That screeches wide. Iceman pelts it the length of the ice, but it rolls in on Septemfelter. No icing, and they can get a change. Stretch pass on the money for Francis. Gains the attacking line, feels some pressure, and the Iceman will clear. Down to 3:11 on the clock. Nychuk scans the ice. Wheels it around the boards and out of play with 3:04 to play. And this face-off should be in the neutral zone, which means that even if the Gladiators wanted to, they probably would not pull TJ Septemfelter here for an extra attacker. We'll put this right at center circle for the draw. Now McNamee, Burns, Francis, Conroy, and Les on. Conroy to Les, and now Burns on the left wing. Joey Cipollone is still on the Gladiators bench, but he was not out there on that last shift. Denemy replaced him as the center. Les at the right point, down lower to Francis, backhand shot, fired towards the net, just tops wide on the far side. Iceman clear off the near glass and down. Another icing with 2:37 on the clock, and now I think you get into that territory where you think about doing it, and Matt Ginn has done it. He has pulled TJ Septemfelter. Net is empty. Extra attacker coming on for Atlanta.
Yeah, I really like the idea by Coach Ginn here. Iceman just iced the puck, got a couple of tired skaters out. Going to go 6-on-5 here against a tired group of Jacksonville Icemen with your top line out here.
Cipollone on, he usually is the extra attacker. Walter, Young, O'Brien, Sylvester, and Nychuk are the 6. They win the face-off, but it screeches by Nychuk. Gladiators forced out to the neutral zone by their own doing. 2:30 to play. Nychuk feeds it to the right wing. Young off the wall and in for O'Brien. Rowe slows it down. Exit attempt taken away by the Icemen. Through the neutral zone they go. Net wide open, and McMaster will find it. Adam McMaster buries the empty net goal. With 2:14 to play, Icemen by 2.
Yeah, tough break for the Gladiators. Had that face-off win originally off that icing where they pulled Semptimfelter. Had the face-off win. Puck just hops by Chad Nychuk. He has to bring it back out into the neutral zone, allowing all those tired Icemen to get off the ice for a change. And the Gladiators just not able to establish possession in the Jacksonville zone. Jacksonville with a nice breakout, and they put in the empty net and just about seal this one.
And brings you back to the keys of the game from Beaver Toyota Mazda. Back in, the third key was puck management, and the Gladiators unable to do it. Off that face-off, and Iceman burying the empty net goal. Make it a 2-0 game, and the mountain to climb gets a little bit more difficult for the Gladiators. Timed out on their side. Semptimfelter still between the pipes as Atlanta deep in the offensive zone. Now with full possession, he heads back for the extra attacker. And again, extra effort from the Iceman gets the puck out of the zone. Gladiators forced to drive it back in. Rose slows it down. Left for Condata, puts it towards the empty net, and just wide on the near side. This is one of those tough games, Andrew, where it felt like the Gladiators have played well tonight, and it's felt like they've played well enough to at least have a goal on the board. But you got to give credit to Cameron Rowe. He has played a great game for Jacksonville tonight, and as a result of that, it is the Icemen who lead. Shot from the line, hits a body. Battle along the far wall. Another shot snapped up by Rowe. Clock stops at 1:25.
Yeah, going back to your point there about the Gladiators really peppering the Icemen with the shots on goal. They're at 35 now. You know, it feels like you got goalied, you know.
Yep.
Rowe came into this game. He's been sharp all night. He's made some really big saves. And the Gladiators, you just got to kind of tip your hat to him on this one, say nice game, and not much more you can do. Rowe played a great game tonight. He really stood on his head for Jacksonville.
Gladiators win the offensive zone face-off. Nychuk puts it wide of the mark. Net still empty for Atlanta. 6 on 5. Walter behind the net. Sets up Sylvester for a shot. Kick save Rowe. And now Young waltzes in and shoots. Blocked. Griffin gets in front of it. Gladiators fighting to keep it in the zone, but the Icemen do press out to center. 50 seconds to play. Gladiators have not been shut out at home this season. Trying to break that here. Walter, the far corner. Jacksonville clears again, and this will be an icing with 28 seconds to go. And we knew coming into this matchup that Jacksonville was not going to go quietly. This is a team that over the last couple of weeks has played a lot better than they've had for much of the season. Got an upset win on Sunday against Florida, and it looks like, again here tonight, they are on their way to spoiling the party for the Atlanta Gladiators. Here's circle face-off. McNamee will take this against Friedman. 1-2 less. Across to Francis. Flag is down the puck. Turns towards net and shoots. Blocked in front. McNamee tries to stuff it in. And Rowe keeps it out. Didn't have full control of it, but the referee behind the cage lost sight of the puck and blew the whistle. 19.2 to go.
Yeah, nice job by Francis there. Getting that shot low and on net. Created a rebound there. McNamee there trying to stuff it home, just unable to. Again, another really good save by Rowe to keep that one out, and a lucky whistle by the referee as that one was loose in the crease with a couple of Gladiators in the area, but we stay 2-0.
Near circle face-off. McNamee wins it. Less to the line. Conroy, right wing, Francis to the left. Puck bounces, Les corrals it, tried to center. Hits a stick, kept to the outside. Denemy tries to keep it alive. For the moment, stays in the Jacksonville zone. They try and pin it against the boards, and time runs out. Jacksonville spoils the show. It is a 38-save shutout for Cameron Rowe, and the Icemen take this one by the final score of 2-0. And that's the way it goes sometimes. The Gladiators get goalied on home ice. It is the first time Atlanta has been shut out at Gas South Arena this season. Sensational effort for Cameron Rowe. 38 shots on goal. The Gladiators certainly tested him here tonight, but unable to find a way to put one by him. The Icemen scored 2 goals on 21 shots, one of those an empty net goal, and so in the books it won't go down as a 1-goal game, but very much was so for almost the entirety of it until the empty net goal was scored with 2:14 to play. The game-winning goal scored late in the second period. TJ Friedman with 1:12 remaining in the middle frame made it 1-0, and the Icemen held that lead until the end.